Hello my lovelies, hope you've been well. There's a bit of stuff on the side because I don't have any more space to put in the things that I'm going to talk about today. So I hope you ignore some of the stuff on the side that I haven't talked about. But today's video is going to be about my stationery favorites of 2023. For the previous few years I've been doing this. I've been doing just general stationery that I've been loving, and because of that there are just some things that doesn't change. Like my favorite scissors are still the same, my favorite glue tape is still the same, my favorite brush pen remains the same. You know, there's things that once you know what you like doesn't change very much. So this time it's going to be slightly different. Instead of just general favorite of the year, what I'm going to do is only talk about things that I actually purchased during 2023. I will also be talking about some of the regrets, like stationery regrets that I have for 2023. This is just a few. There's some purchases regrets, there's some regrets that I'm not using some stuff properly, but we'll talk about that later. I will just open in saying that in 2023 I didn't get a lot of journaling supplies because I feel like I've amassed quite a lot of like tape, stamps and things like that. So there wasn't a lot of really big purchases as much as previous years, just because I want to be more intentional about what I have and what I get. But also I recently got into like fountain pens and inks, so a lot of my purchases during 2023 were actually ink and pen stuff. Yeah, so if I go through my Happy Mail journal, this is why I like having a Happy Mail journal, because it tells me what I've gotten throughout the years, right? So if we look at 2023, this is all still 2022. So I did get a few things from journal pages, some tapes, these tapes, and some stamps as well. Something from Paperhood that I haven't journaled even though it's from April. My Freckles the Order, which I really love and will talk about definitely in this video. I also did another journal pages haul. It's a bit of a smaller one. Got this and a few different bits and bobs. That and yeah. So a few things. And stamps. I also did a Paperhood haul, and yeah, there's some stuff as well. There's some sort of fern stuff. I'm just trying to see, because usually I actually write down what I order. So some sort of fern stuff, some stamps, some PET tape, some peon PET tapes as well, and these stamps as well. Also did a paper game haul with a few PET tapes, because if you don't know about paper game, they actually have PET tapes that are a bit more different than the rest of the stationery shop, so I like to shop there once in a while. And then Meow Illustration, because I really wanted some of her latest stuff, and also picked up one of these date stamp that I will talk about later, because I actually really do enjoy it. And then I also did a JR journal haul recently, and I think that's it. So that was me for the whole year. So it's still quite a bit, but it wasn't as much as what I got during 2021 and 2022, because I am trying to be good and also trying to budget a lot and be very intentional about my spending. So I will just take you through some of my favorites. That I know that's a long intro, hey, but I get rambly when I'm talking about stationery, so there's that. So I will divide it up in a few different categories. So the first one would be journaling based, so your tapes, your journals, your stamps and things like that, right? So the first thing that I have been loving so much, but you know this, like Freckles Tea is one of my favorite brand, so when they come out I go a little bit crazy. So this year I actually helped some of my Australian friend order as well, so that we did a group order, so it was really good for our wallet. Out of these volume 3 rolls, my favorite one would have to be this one. It's very beautiful, lots of really gorgeous like fruits. I really like citrus, so I really like this tape, and the color is very warm and nice. Let me open up my sticker release, because I had one of those. It's easier to see actually, because I have fuzzy cut them, and then it's much easier to see what's in the tape. So this one is that tape. This whole page is the whole look. So lots of orange and warm and like green kind of like fruits and flowers. Lots of really white flowers. I really like this one as well. This one and this one is from the same tape. It's like the warm tape, which is really nice as well. And they also have this one with very cute girls and bunnies and stuff. But my favorite out of the bunch is definitely this tape, because of just how warm it is, and I really like how it's a combination of fruits and flowers, because yeah, there's already a lot of flowers from her other tapes, so I really enjoy that there's a lot of fruits, and I love citrus, so yeah, I just really love that. So that's the first one on my list, is this set of freckles tea. If you only have budget for one, I definitely recommend getting this one, which is my favorite. So yeah, that's freckles tea. Another thing that have been elevating my journal is these daily stickers from your tape print. This one is a little bit harder to get. My friend Judy from TWSBI Memory sells this on her shop. This is a bit harder to get because it's like from Taiwan, and it's this is like a calendar sticker, but it's from like all these different artists. So it's not just one artist. All of these artists actually took one month and then they illustrate for it, if that makes sense. So if I go through this, on January, I'm just gonna put a white paper at the back because it's washi sticker, so it's slightly transparent. So January we have meow illustration. Like some of these I've already used, as you can tell, that's why it's empty. But the good thing about this is you have one for every day, and even though it's dated, it doesn't say the year, so you can reuse it year by year. I'm still gonna use this next year as well, because I didn't use everything. But as you can see, there's two pages for each artist. This one's meow illustration, which I love. This one is, I'm not sure who this is by, but you have the artist in the front, so I cannot read the Chinese. I'm sorry. Then this one is very nice as well. This one's by Polly on the Terrace, I think. So I'll just go through this really quickly, but they're in washi form, and it's really nice. And I feel like once I finish this, I can reuse the album as a sticker book, because it's kind of like, you know, sticker release paper. So this one's really cute as well, by Pay Studio. And then this one for June I really love, because it's by one of my favorite artists, Some Sort of Fern, and it's also my birthday month. So they have another version for next year as well, that is stationery base, but I'm not gonna get that for next year because one, I still have this one. There's still plenty that I haven't used, and also because that one didn't really appeal to me, because this one is plants and flowers, which I really love, and that one is stationery based. So yeah, there you go. This one is very cute as well. See, I still have a lot of these, so I'm not gonna get it next year. But anyway, I'm not gonna take you through the rest because I feel like I'm taking too much time already. But the way I've been using it is in my thinking of you, and they're just like some of I completely forgot to use it here, but kind of like this one and that one, the one that and they don't always look like calendar pieces, which is what I love. Like, it's like stickers and then it has the little numbers on it. So if you don't want to use it on that current date, you can always just like carve it out with your craft knife if you don't want the numbers. So I just really liked it, and I feel like it's really good value for money. So I really like that as well. That's the second one. The third one is already open in front of you. The Thinking of You is still my favorite. I've mentioned it last year as well, but I really love it. I really love all the spreads that I do on it. So I really love this journal, and I'm a little bit sad that I'm not gonna be continuing it next year, because I feel like I am ready for a different layout. So I'm going to be on a different format and a different layout for next year. But I have a lot of love for this planner / journal, because of just how minimal everything is. Like, this is it unfilled with anything. So it's like blank slate. You can do whatever with it, because I notice I am not really big fan of like lines or dot grid or grids on my journal, like a memory keeper journal, if that makes sense. So this one has been really lovely. I definitely think I would eventually get back to it in a year's time, in 2 years time, whenever I feel like it. But really love this planner / journal. And I know I have enabled some people into trying the Thinking of You, and most of them have been loving it. So, you know, if this is the vibe you like, then you should really give it a try, because I actually really do love this. Also, another thing I purchased in 2023 that I love is my Olive TN. I cannot believe that they actually re-released it. Like, I actually missed out on getting it on 2018 or 2017. Sorry, the original was released in 2017, but because I only started getting into TN at 2018, I completely missed it. I've tried to get it once, and the leather was really bad because it's been sitting in a storage for like 5 years or whatever. So I returned it back because it wasn't worth it. I was spending $500 something for it as well, but I'm so glad that I didn't like that and returned it, because now I get to get an olive on a normal price, which is like probably like a fourth of that price that I paid for that 2017 limited edition one that ended up like having really bad leather and things like that. So I'm so glad that I eventually re-released it and I can get it. So it's kind of been like a long dream come true. I really love this TN, basically. I don't know what else to say about it aside from just how much I liked it. But anyway, I really enjoy this. So that's one of my favorites as well for this year. Another one that is quite recent, but I think it was the smartest thing, is Meow Illustration recently came up with this date stamp that has the frames. But the really cool thing about this is that you can actually change the design. Come on please. So one of these date stamp comes with 6 different designs, and they are interchangeable, so you can change it to whichever one you wanna use, which is amazing, because that means instead of just getting 1 stamp, you actually get 6 for the price of 2 or 3. They come in these clear stamps, and then you can take it off and then you can put it on here. So this is how it come up with. Is it focusing properly? And then you kind of just put the clear stamp there, and then you can stamp it down. So I reckon this is probably one of the smartest thing people have come up with. I have seen that a few brands have also come up with this. Japanese stationery brand Misia also have come up with something like this, but the design are more cutesy, so lots of little animals and things like that. But this is way up my alley because it's just like lots of florals, and because I just really love Mia illustration. So this is one of those purchases that I really love, and I highlight because of how smart it is, how it's environmentally friendly, because obviously you can change the designs, and I just really love Mia's illustration style of florals and stuff. So I think this is pretty clever, so I really love, and I didn't regret getting this because it's just really cool, but also really useful. So I'm gonna date all my Happy Mail stuff with this from now on. So yeah, I wish they come up with something more kind of like vintage as well, because this is some semi-vintage, semi-florals, but I do want a full-on vintage that looks like a post office stamp. Maybe I can hack it, because these clear stamps are easy enough for you to like cut through them. So if I have a clear stamp that looks pretty cool and vintage, maybe I'll hack it and then see if it can work. We'll see. I will let you know if I manage to do that. Okay, so that's mostly my journaling favorites, and now I will go through my pen and ink favorites. Basically, like I've said before, this year has been the year of discovering fountain pen and inks for me. So a lot of my purchases were fountain pen based, like this year, probably like 50-50, but I feel like, did I spend more money on inks and pens? I'm not sure, but I did amass quite a bit. So these are some of my favorites when it comes to pen and inks, so I'll just go through it quickly. So this year I have discovered my big love for TWSBI pens, just because there's a lot, it looks very nice, but also like the ink reservoir is super big, and I don't know, I just really like writing with them. This one is my current favorite. It's the indigo bronze, and somehow when I write with this, my writing looks really nice. So this is one of my favorite pens for this year. But I also have great appreciation for the Jinhao pens. They are very affordable, because one of them cost around like $5 or something like that. It's really affordable. And the thing with that is, because all of them they have so many colors, so you can actually mix and match. This is a mix and match actually, and I also did a few other mix and matches. I think like some of these are being mixed and matched. It just has so many colors, so you can like mix and match all you want. But the pen is actually quite decent as well. Like I would say some of these feels better in my hands than some other pen. I won't say which one. Even though they're plastic and they're pretty affordable, the quality is actually not bad. So if you're just starting out with fountain pen, I really suggest you try it with something that's a bit more affordable first, and then you can make your way up. But I actually really like this, and the extra fine on this are actually quite good as well. This is actually a fine, but the extra fine on this is quite fine, and I actually really like it. So I suggest you, if you want to get into fountain pens but you're not sure if you're gonna like it, maybe try it on one of these first, because I actually really like the Jinhao pens. Ink wise, one of my current favorite this year is actually the Saladin Cat from Diamine. It's very nice. It's this like very, hang on, I can show you this actually if I have it on. So it's this really nice muted blue. I've been using it a lot on one of my planner just because the color is so nice, and it's like perfect color to match with one of my TWSBI's color. I have too many TWSBI's, you guys, but we will talk about that later. That's my favorite color for this year, but my favorite ink brand is actually Troublemaker inks. So this is a Philippine-based ink company, and they are homemade, so it's a little bit harder to get because they have so much demand, but they don't always have the stock. But they have the prettiest color changing inks. I don't know if I have it on here, like, I'm sorry, but my ink swatching thing is still a mess, but because some of them I've already have on here and some of them I don't. So that is from Troublemaker, and I don't think the camera's picking it up really well, but it has like the prettiest color changing inks that I've seen. That one is also from Troublemaker. As you can see, there's like, it's like this very fascinating. When you first write it, it's a different color than when it dries, and I just find that super cool. Let's see if I have, this one is also another Troublemaker one. As you can see, that's like more than one color because it has the green and the pink. So it's just that brand of ink I just really like, and it's not the one that everyone is talking about. There's another one. This is the sea gloss. So they have really nice colors, and they're not too expensive, so they're quite affordable. So they're my favorite ink company for this year. So there's those two. I've also already showed you guys it, but I also this year have found that I actually really like swatching inks. I don't know what it is, but it just feels very therapeutic to me to be swatching inks. So I have a few different ways to do it. This is probably my favorite though, because it's just easy to do. These cards are from Wearingle, and then I just place them in my card file from Travel's notebook, and this way I can just take it out in and out if I need to shuffle it for colors and things like that. But that's one of the things that I don't really like. If I have, like, you know how I already have 2 pages of like green, and then if I get any more, I have to like shuffle everything down to make a room, because I like them to be in, like, you know, rainbow order or whatever. So that's the only thing that I didn't like, which is why this for me works really well. The paper is Maruman paper, and these are, I believe, kind of like the watercolor ish paper, which is why it has like this very nice, I don't know which one, can you see that it has this very nice texture of the paper that brings out the color of the ink so much more. I got questions sometimes about like where do I get the template, but it's actually a combination of 2 stamps, which is this one from Beverly, and then this one from a random AliExpress store. This one is probably harder to get. I got it when I first started journaling, so it's been years since I got it, but I carved out the retro stamps thing on the top because all I wanted is the little windows and the little thing. So basically that's that. It's like a DIY, but it really works for me because I just really like swatching ink. So the more I can swatch, the more I like it. So some of them using different tools, some of them with a glass pen and some of them with a brush. So, and this one I like to add a little bit more water so it looks more like transparent. I don't know why I'm explaining so much like this, but I just really like swatching inks. And then the other thing that I really love is, because this is rainbow order, you can just do this and then it will have all the colors on the edge. I just find it so satisfying. So I actually really like this system for ink swatching. I have to figure out where to get bigger rings though. I think soon enough it's not gonna fit. Also, another thing that I have is I made these ink swatches printable, and they're available in my shop, and they're basically just bottles of ink that you can use. This one I haven't used as much because I haven't figured out how I want to do it, but I just really like it, seeing all of them in one page. I feel like that's really cool. So with this template, this is the one that has the most, so 10 in a page, but I also have 8 in a page, 6, 4, and 2 in a page. So no matter how big you want your ink swatches to be, it can be it can be whatever size you want. I also have sizes for A6 and A5, I believe. Yeah, A5 and A6. So depending on how big or small you want your swatches, it's all there. So I'll link it down below as well, because I feel like there's a few people that have been getting it, and they told me they really liked it. So if you like something like this, I will link it down below as well for you. So that's all for my ink and ink swatching things, favorites. I can't believe this is already half an hour of me just rambling, and I'm only halfway. Oh. Okay, stay with me. Grab some drinks and stay with me. Okay, and then the next category is going to be tools, because you know me, I like making my journaling easier and more efficient, and so these ones are going to be some of my tools that I really like this year. So the first one, I don't know if this is this year or last year, but I think I might have gotten it last year, but I only started really using it this year. So this is just a pencil case, but I like how there is a space for all my pens, all my like most important, most used pens. So this is for when I'm doodling. This is my calligraphy pen, craft knife, pencil, and then glue pen. And then that's another like craft knife as well, and my handy dandy tweezers. I also have my acrylic block for clear stamps, and this Midori paper correction pen in there as well if I need to do any correction pen. This one is, I should probably talk about this one as well, because this one's actually the color of the MD paper, and it's like off-white. So if I have a white paper, this is actually not white, it's like cream colored, so it's great for your Midori paper. So I've been liking that one as well. And anyway, I'll come back to this. This has like the compartment on the back, and usually it has everything I need for journaling, so I don't have to, before this pencil case, I have to hunt down everywhere, because you know, after I journal is a mess, and then sometimes I just leave things somewhere and then I forgot where things are and everything, and I have to like look around. But ever since putting it in one pencil case, strangely it makes my journaling experience so much better, so much smoother. I know where everything is, and then by the end, when I finish journaling, I know exactly where this is meant to be. I just find it so satisfying that everything kind of just fits into place. So basically this has been my lifesaver for journaling, just because I know where things are, and then I don't spend so much time hunting down where things are. So yeah, it doesn't have to be this one, you know, as long as you have a pencil case, anything will do. But I'm just saying that the idea of having it in a place just makes it so much easier for me to journal. So that's one of the first one. Anyway, and also another thing that I've been really liking this year is having a passport TN as a wallet. I've already talked about it a few times already, but this one is pretty cool because this plastic thing holds my cards, so it's easy to like get in and out. And then this one, I can carry some coins and some money. And then if I have some ephemera, sometimes I like will put it there, or in one of the this, what do you call it, the canvas thing. I also really like having this monthly in there, just so that if I'm out and about and I need to schedule things, like yesterday or a few days ago, I was at the dentist, and then so I can schedule the next time I go to the dentist and just write it down quickly, because sometimes I get forgetful, you know, that comes with age and whatever. But I like that I have this, so I can just write down things as I know is happening. So it's like mostly for events and things like that. So really like that. I also have just like a random blank insert for stamping or for like pen tests and stuff. I did some pen tests when I went to one of the stationery store, and I like to have this pen as well. This pen has been really good for me as well. It's on my list because they're small and cute, and I don't know what it is, but I just really like it. It just fits very well, and the height is almost the same, so I really like that one. So yeah, it's been really good to have my Tiana's wallet, and I'm gonna be using that one for next year as well, so that's one of the highlight as well. Another thing I've been really liking this year, I'm just gonna move it so I can actually grab it, are these La Dolce Vita tins. If you know me, you know I'm into storage and tins and things like that. So when I discovered this, I'm like, they're really cute, I will get it, even though I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. But when it got home, it becomes like such a perfect way to my mini stamps. So these stamps are from Kuru Kinki, and they're like and they're a Malaysian brand, but they just fits really well into this. I really love how I can have it at home, because it just fits like that. And then, like, you know, because there's a groove in this thing, there's a groove in here that makes it stackable, so you can just do that when you're at home. And then once you're finished, or if you want to take it on the go, you just have to put the lid on. And it also means that these are stackable as well. So I actually really like this. Very cute illustration on the back as well. So, and they're pretty inexpensive. They're probably like $9 or something for these, but I just really like that they're very useful. So that's one of my favorites for this year as well. Another thing I've been really liking is, you know, I'm always on the hunt for like a perfect storage for my PET tapes. So right now they're in 2 different places. So this one is the bigger one. I actually like this storage idea as well for all the tapes, but this one is all my like favorite ones. So if I ever need to go and grab some stuff to go cafe journaling or something like that, or like in a few days I'm going to visit my parents, so I'm just gonna pick up this one and grab it with me. So it's really easy for if you want to take it on the go. This one has all my PET tape cuttings. Well, not all, because I still have the rolls, but these are just making it easier for me to look at them. So I have this one, but the one that I have been really enjoying this year is this album from Jam Studio. It is actually not for PET tapes, but it's perfect for PET tapes because the size are really good, and it's like in thin strips, so you don't have to cut a lot. And I really like how it's opening from the side as well. And something about these plastics, right? Usually when you have it on here, sometimes it sticks. Like it sticks in, not all of them, but some of them. This one, look, it sticks a little bit to the top, so it's not always very easy to take out. I feel like the glossy one sticks way more. Possibly like this one, maybe. Yeah, see, it's kind of like it needs a little bit of a tug. Not that big of a deal, to be honest, because you can just like wiggle it free and stuff. But the fact that it goes in here like this, it's harder to put in easily compared to when you have the opening on the side, if that makes sense. Because this one, the opening is from the side, so it's easier to slide that in compared to that where you have to put on the top for some reason. And also the plastic on here is really good, and it doesn't stick to the PET tape, so it's easier to pull in and out. But also that means that sometimes some of your tapes can slide down. I don't know if I have a good explanation. Hang on, like this one maybe. See how some of them is sliding out? So there's that as well as a con, but overall I really like this. And the only thing that's bad about it is that this is not a ring. I wish it's a ring. I can probably modify it. I can probably like cut it all off and then put some holes in it and put it on the rings. But you know what, I actually don't mind this. So this one is actually my current favorite storage for PET tapes. by Jam Studio, and there's a few colors. There's this color, there's a purple, and there's a black, and it has like a glittery like cover and things like that. But I've been really liking this. So if you're on a hunt for a storage system for your PD tapes and you don't own a crazy amount like me, I think this will be enough, because this has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times 6, 12 times 4 is 4? Yeah, 12 times 4 is 48. So if you have 48 tapes, that will fit in one of these. So there you go. And another thing I've been loving, I feel like there's just so many, but I've gotten into fuzzy cutting these days in the train. Fuzzy cutting on the go, not fuzzy cutting, just fuzzy cutting, but fuzzy cutting in the train or on the go, just because I would like to not waste time and do something productive even if I'm in the train. And then sometimes I can like put on the podcast and then fuzzy cut away. So this has been very, very helpful, and this is like a kit of some sort. I just don't have my scissors in here, but this little A5 pouch to hold all my tapes, and this tin usually holds all the cuttings. Has been really good. I also sometimes, if I know I'm gonna be stuck in a place waiting a lot, I also sometimes bring this thing, which is the King Jim flake sticker storage, but I use it for my PET cuttings. I don't always bring this. It just depends how much I think I'll get to. If I'm only doing like a loop of tape, I usually just put it all in the tin and I don't bother with this. But this storage has been really good as well, because then you can put all the cuttings. But the only thing is you can't tell. Sometimes it's a bit harder to tell the item, so you have to take it all out to choose which one you want to use. But I feel like this is very, very good for what I need it to be. So I really like this fuzzy cutting kind of like kit that I made for myself. It's been really good having this around to feel more productive. I just like to make things efficient and make sure that all my time is accountable kind of thing, and I'm doing something productive. So I just really like having this. That makes it easy. Another thing I've been really liking for tools are this mini stamp cleaner. It's not actually mini, guys. It's actually a bit bigger than my passport size. But these are how do I explain this? This is like, it has like, it feels like, looks like Velcro, but it's much softer, but it has all these bristles to agitate your stamp. So what I usually do is I spray it with water and eucalyptus oil solution, and then what I'll do is I'll take my stamps and then I'll rub it like that. That's why it's disgusting and grubby, because I've been like rubbing it like this. But it's been helpful because that means I will actually clean my stamp up after use, because this is easy to use. It's always on my desk, and after I use the stamp, I can just spray and then clean it up a little bit, and then when it goes back to the shelf, at least like a little bit more cleaner, you know. So this one has been good for me to maintain my stamp hygiene, basically. So that has been really useful as well. So that's my favorite. That's a long list, I know, but I still have a little bit of just like talking about the regrets that I have from 2023 when it comes to stationery purchases and stuff. So one of my regret is getting so many TWSBI pens. Like, I don't need this many. Should I show you guys? Because you'll be like, why do you have so many? So this was the one that I first gotten and I really liked it. So I got another in fine, because this was in EF. This is on fine. So I got this, and then you know, I should be satisfied with that, but no. But no, I have another like 3. I got another 3 ever since then. So in a hindsight, right? These 2 I don't really need, even though the colors are quite cute. But Actually, the rose gold ones are the ones that I really like. So essentially, these ones I shouldn't have gotten. But the thing, it's okay. I can probably like hand one off to my dad because I got him into it. I bought him a TWSBI for his birthday and he's been using it a lot, and I got him an F. But when I asked him if the nib is okay, he said, oh, it's a little bit thick, so I think I can hand off one of my fine to him, so it's not a big deal. But in hindsight, I didn't realize how much limited edition stuff they come up with. So there's a lot of times I'm just like, oh, I really like that color, and then I get it. Like these two are a little bit of a regret for me. I didn't regret this. I really love these, but these two are a little bit of a regret for me because I also don't really like the Eco Tea, but I like the color of this. So, you know, I don't need this much, but then sometimes I'm just like, oh, it looks really nice and I really like how it writes. So I do get a lot. I do get a lot of Gin House as well, but because they're a little bit cheaper, I don't really mind. Not a little bit, like much cheaper, like a fifth of the price or something. I don't really mind. But I also like how like these are ink with all different colors, so I have a lot of different colors to play and if I want to write and things like that. So regret, not regret, I don't know, like I'm half regretting, but I'm also at peace with my spending. Also another thing that's a slight regret is not getting this, right? Because I really love this planner. It writes really well with fountain pens, and I really like the illustrations on the side, but I regret not using it as much as I want to. This was meant to be like a side project kind of planner, but I realize now that I cannot do with more than one planner at a time. It's kind of silly to say, but I have a planner for my side projects and I have a planner for like life and work and things like that. But this doesn't get used to often, which makes me sad because it's such a beautiful planner. Like I used it a lot in the beginning. Like look, in the beginning I used it a lot because, you know, if it's January, you'll be like, I want to use all my planner, and then I realized it's not working because you can already tell it's getting like sparser and sparser. But it doesn't work to have things in two different planners. So for next year I'm consolidating into one, but I'm a little bit sad that this doesn't get as much use as I thought it would be because it's such a beautiful planner. And next year it's going to get so much use because I did get it again for next year because I cannot stay away from Meow Illustration Planner. But for next year they're definitely going to be used way more because it's going to be my weekly memory keeper. So my regrets this year is going to be my resolution for next year. Yeah, but anyway, that's a slight regret because it's such a beautiful planner. I really want to get a lot of use out of it, and I couldn't because like the way I'm using it is not very efficient. So there it is. But you know, you live and you learn. Another thing that I'm slightly regretting PET tape wise are getting these True PET tapes. I don't know if you can tell, but this one is slightly like way thinner than other PET tapes, so it's a bit harder to peel. This is when I'm comparing it to like the Plus Minus Deja Vu tape. As you can see, this one's a little bit more. If I put some color paper at the back, if I put this at the back, this one kind of like just disappears, so you can only use it on a white paper. So I should have gotten just a sample of this, and then I'll realize that I don't really like it. So that's me. Like that's one of the other thing that's really bad with me is I advocate for you to get samples before you get your PET tapes, but I really don't do that because half of the time I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna use it because it's similar to some tapes that I have and I use them, but yeah, the quality is not it. So I think in the future I probably will try not to get True tape because the quality is not as good as the other tapes. Also, another one that I've gotten, and I didn't use much is this plus minus one. I want to use it more because it's very interesting, but I feel like it's a little bit grungy for my taste, so I don't use it quite often. But I want to try to force myself to use it because it's cool. I want to use it, but I just haven't reached to it as much as I would like. Also, another thing why you should actually get samples is because some of the PET tapes are super thin. Like this one is super cute, like I really like it, but they're super thin, and that makes it easy to crease like this. I don't know if you can see, but there's a crease on here like that. There's a crease. Hang on, can you actually see it properly? Like there's a crease on there, and when it's really thin, it's even harder to unpeel. Like PET tapes are hard to unpeel as it is, even though nowadays I feel like I've already mastered the unpeeling method because I peel it so much quicker now compared to when I first started using it. But some of these are super thin. I think the PET tape that comes from Taiwan are usually quite good quality and it's quite thick, so it's easier to peel. But some of the PET tapes that comes from China, like from AliExpress, from Taobao, there's a lot of them that are super thin. It is cheaper, but the quality is not as good. Sometimes it'll, like, you know, if you, because it comes with these plastic tape, right, to keep it together. Sometimes it will actually rip off some of the design, so the quality is not that great. So one of my regrets is not getting a sample because not all PET tapes are made equal, but these, I actually like that these only have 5 meters. So even though I did get a full roll, it's 5 meters and it's okay. Like it's not that much, right? So there are some of my PET regrets. Another thing that I regret is not using my TN a lot. Last year I got a few planners and I used them way more than my TNs just because they are dated, so I feel like I have to keep working on it. But yeah, so I didn't get to use my TN a lot. I wish I actually use it way more, but it still gets used. Like my EDC gets used a lot more because when I need to take notes, I'll take that with me. But a lot of my like art journal in the TN doesn't get used so much because I'm already journaling so much on my thinking of you, because this is every week basically. So, and I don't have a lot of time this year because my work was actually quite busy this year. So next year I want to do a little bit more in the TN, even though I actually did have a lot more planners next year as well. So wish me luck. Another thing I regret from 2023 is that I didn't have as much time to actually work on the shop, which makes me a little bit sad. But next year I feel like I need to whip myself into shape and do more things, because it would be really good to have supplemental income because the salary I got from work is not cutting it anymore. So that said, I'm gonna do more for the Etsy shop next year because I know I might not have that much time to package and design and make stickers. Like, you know what, my Cricut is giving me so much trouble, so that sticker making is a little bit like annoying these days. I'm really thinking to get myself a silhouette so that I can make stickers more efficiently, because right now, like for the past two weeks, I've spent like a few days just trying to cut like 1 or 2 sticker sheet because it just keeps erroring out. So this is your warning, do not get a Cricut. I do want to get a silhouette, but I'm gonna wait until it is on sale because I don't have that much funds. But for next year, I really want to do a lot more digital stuff. This year I did a few TN printables and I actually really like doing that, and I feel like there's not a lot out there that is very niche. I was trying to find like a printable insert for my ink swatches and I couldn't find any, so I really wanted to do more of that. I also recently really got into Notion and I want to make templates for that. So there's a few things I actually really wanted to do for the shop, so I will do that. But also I feel like there's some of the templates that are gonna be quite good to be shared you guys. So I am toying up of opening up like a Ko-fi account, so that if I can actually share those little templates and stuff, and also their fees are so much better than Etsy's fee. So I will work on that next year as well. So there's a few things on the horizon. There you go. That's what I'm planning for the shop next year. Hopefully I will have time for that. I'm actually very excited to have a break during Christmas so I can actually put some work into the shop, because I really really want to do it, and I haven't gotten much to do it this year. But this is I didn't expect this to be this long, to be honest. I expected it to be half an hour, but then I only go through half of my favorites and it was already half an hour. So yeah, if you're staying with me for the entire thing, I just want to thank you so much for being here. Not only today, but I know some of you probably watch all my favorites video every month, and I really thank you for always showing up for me. And I hope my content is actually useful for you or entertaining, whichever. I hope you find useful things from my videos, and it's been a really good year for me. Also, this is a mess, but I'm also hoping to put some more thought into my YouTube next year. So possibly a new types of video, maybe revamp my thumbnails a little bit and things like that. So there's a lot of exciting things for next year. I'm excited. I hope you are too. And also this video is about my stationery purchases and favorites, but I think I want to make a goal setting journal next year as well, like early next year, and I might take you through how I set my goals and what I'm going to do, even though I already talked about it a little bit in the end of this video. But hopefully that will be interesting as well, because like I told you, I'm trying to do a little bit new stuff for the YouTube to see if you guys like that kind of content. So thank you so much for watching till the end and watching me ramble. I really like talking about stationery with you guys, and I hope you guys get something out of it. So again, thank you so much for being here. I will love you and leave you. Hope you have a great Christmas and New Year break. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year in advance, and I will see you next year. Thank you so much. I love you all. See you. Bye bye. Thank you so much.